G'day guys, unknown prophet Fred Watkins coming on with another word from the Lord. Before I give you the word, I ask you for prayer. A situation in this country and the world right now seems to be sitting on a stove and coming to a boil. The problems we're having in this country, the problems that they are planning on for tomorrow, riots in many of the cities, paid for and bought by many of those who are against this country and against the presidency and the government that we have now. I don't care whether you like Trump or not. He is president, and this country needs to stand strong. And what I'm saying, paid for, that has been proven, and it has been posted in the news. So I'm not just making up things. And on top of that, the Israeli attack of Iran and their nuclear facilities has opened the door for possible retaliation, and they're saying because we're friends with Israel that they will retaliate against our people as well. So prayer is greatly, greatly needed, and your prayers mean much. You may not see the answer to them the way you want, but God hears them, and He will answer them the way He wants. With that in mind, let me bring you the word that He gave me. He gave me this word on May the 19th, 2025, and I'm bringing it to you on June the 14th, 2025. And I titled it, Looking from the Mountaintop. As I sat watching and looking into the darkness with my eyes shut, the darkness began to turn light, and I saw what seemed to be low mountains stretching across in front of me. It appeared that I was able to see past them, and that there was a wide stretch of flatland beyond them, almost as far as I could see. There appeared to be a possible body of water beyond the flatland, but none of the vision was very clear. I even told the Father, I said, Father, it's all hazy. And I asked if I was even seeing what He wanted me to see. He said, yes, keep watching. It was as though I was up on some high mountains, looking into the distance and seeing this. Suddenly the vision shifted, and it was as if I had moved down to the lower mountains that I had seen, and I could see the plain more clearly now. As I stood on the lower mountains, Father said, turn and look back where you came from. I did, and there was a range of high, rugged mountains, which is what I had felt I had been looking down from. Father said, look back toward the plain, which I did. It became very dim, and suddenly Jesus was standing at the edge of the mountains, just on the edge of the plain. In vision, He was huge. He was about the height of the mountains I was standing on. He stood there for a few moments, and then He lifted His hands waist high, palms upward, and simply stood. The vision of Jesus faded, and I realized that suddenly I could see clearer, and that there was a body of water in the distance. As I looked behind me, I could see both ranges of mountains clearly, the one I was on and the one I had been on at first. At that point, Father said, now look up. I did, and there was a beautiful sky, and the vision faded. Father said, now go and write. He said, son, what I've shown you tonight is a vision of how of how and what many of my people are seeing today. They are standing on the top of their high mountains, where many of them have climbed by themselves. They are looking out over the world and they are seeing lower mountains, and beyond them there is a plain and a hint of water past that. But it's all hazy. Nothing is clear. As they realize that they are not seeing clearly, some are moving down to the lower level where they are not standing so high above everyone else. They are trusting a little more in me and a little less totally in themselves. As a result, they are seeing more clearly and feeling a little more comfortable because they are not having to hang on to the cliffs and high mountainsides by themselves to keep from falling. Many are drawing closer to me without even knowing it. And then I revealed my Son to them. They stood for the first time and truly saw him. Yes, they've heard his name, and they even knew who he was, but they have never truly seen him for who he was. He had only been a name they knew, and they had accepted that. They had accepted the name, trusting in his power without even truly knowing him. He stood for a time and got their attention. He drew their eyes to himself. And as he did, he drew their spirits toward him as well. Then they began to look at him with interest. He raised his hands to them and called them to himself. Many came. There were those who didn't, but many did. And as they gave themselves into his hands, they suddenly realized that they were seeing much clearer. They were understanding what they were looking at because the fog was lifting and all was becoming clearer. When they began to see clearer, they realized that when they looked back to where they had been, they could see the things they had done that had caused problems and hurt, but they could also see the things that had been good. They began to realize that even though they had climbed to the mountaintop on their own, I had still been with them. I had many times kept them from falling. The reason they were now more comfortable in this lower range was because they were beginning to seek me more and rest more in me. Many were still doing the same work they had been doing, but I was now a part of it, and they were beginning to see things a little more clearly. They now understood that as they committed themselves into my Son Jesus' hands, it all began to clear up. As I said, many were still doing the same things, and they weren't all things that had brought them to where they wanted to be. Many were still in painful situations that had not yet been resolved, and life was miserable. But they were now learning to call on me and to lean on me in their pain. And Jesus and I were able to bring some peace to many who totally committed themselves into my Son's hands. Know, my children, that many of you can climb the mountaintop to the mountaintop without me, but I will still be with you. However, the haze and the fog will always be there, and there will never be the peace that will come to you when you bring yourself lower so that you can accept me and my Son completely. That is what I want for you, because I love you. I love each of you. Those who don't know me as I am calling you to know me, come down from the high mountain of your life, where you have climbed by yourself, and descend to where you will let me become a true part of your life. Even as I showed my prophet a picture of my Son raising his hands to you, heed that. Come to him as more than a name. Come to him as a true spiritual person. Come to him who loves you and begin to trust him and me. We will strengthen you and we will clear your vision because we love you. That is the word of God. Anybody on a mountaintop who climbed there by yourself, think about that. If you're hearing this, the Lord is standing there with his hands open to you. Come. He will definitely clear your vision and he will bring you the peace that you desire. God bless you. Unknown Prophet Fred Watkins signing off.